Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm excited. Got several things to talk about and do. So let's just get started. I'm gonna do my makeup while I am doing a story time. Crazy story time today. Get my stuff going, set it up. I am going to just chew this Trident. That's my straightener. While I tell you the story and do my makeup. Okay, so getting a few things. A few things I'm excited about before I kind of start telling my story is that today I am starting my third tier on Patreon, which is an exclusive video per week. I'm really excited about that. So if you're interested, go check that out. Link is in the description box. I'm trying to get everything I need here. Another thing I'm excited about is that today is the day Trader Joe's puts out their fall stuff. So I'm gonna go tomorrow. I don't have time to go today. I'm out of this lotion. My Walmart order is coming today with more of this. Okay, so I'm going to Trader Joe's tomorrow to get a bunch of fall stuff. That's one of my favorite videos each year that I do, is the Trader Joe's fall haul. So I'm going to be getting that to you very soon. I don't know yet if I'm going to have time to do it tomorrow, just depending on, because I'm going with some friends and we're going to have like a big day out. So I don't know that I'm going to have it tomorrow, but it'll be soon. It'll be very soon. So I'm excited to share that with you. I'm excited about the third Patreon tier. Just a lot of fun things. Okay, sorry. So my story time. It's so funny because before I became a mother, I was never chosen for jury duty. Well, you know, we used to live in Texas. Okay, so once I moved to Tennessee, it was like that first year we were in Tennessee, I got a summons to serve on a jury in Texas. And so I just had to call them and like share proof of like address change and like that I could not feasibly do that because we live very far away. And so, okay, besides that, I'd never gotten a jury duty summons until I became a mother. Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom. So the first time I got it, I just had my son. And so they have on the paper they send you that if you want to ask for a deferment, you can if you have like a good reason, and it lists like some reasons. And one of the reasons is that you're a primary caregiver and you like don't have anyone else. to watch your person, like whoever it is you're caring for. So that first time I called and I shared that. And I was talking to the lady, she was so sweet. And she was just like, oh yes, of course, like, that's fine, I'll put in a deferment for you. And I was like, okay, whew, dodged a bullet. Well, on the paper, it says you can only be deferred one time. But the second letter I got, I had just had the twins. And I mean, they were babies. Like a few weeks old. Okay. So even though it said you could only get deferred once, I was like, I literally can't do this. I mean, I have a 2-year-old and I have these infant, like 3-week-old or something twins. So I just called and told her, I'm pretty sure it was the same lady, and I was just like, I just had twins. They're like 3 weeks old. Like I can't. I'm like on leave anyway, and I physically like can't. And she was like, oh my word, like, yeah, you can't do it. Like, and I don't know if she was saying that because of how new they were. I'm not sure. But she was so sweet, and she was like, yeah, you can't do it. I'll put in a deferment for you. Like, don't worry, congratulations. And she was like so nice. And I was like, okay, dodged a bullet. The story's not over. So, couple weeks ago, last week, got it in the mail. So they're not leaving me alone. I mean, I'm staying on the list. It's not like they're taking me off the list. Like, I'm staying on the list. They're just deferring me. So, again, the thing says you can only be deferred one time. Well, at this point, I've been deferred twice. But here I go for a third. So, I call. I said, hello. I am calling about being like a deferment on jury duty. I am a stay-at-home mom. I've got, 1-year-old twins and a 3-year-old. I'm their primary caregiver. They I don't have anywhere to take them. And she was like, okay, I can defer you. I mean, she didn't even ask any questions. She just said, okay, I can defer you. And I was just like, so I could have taken it. I could have taken it and been like, okay, good. I got deferred for maybe another year. But I was like, let me see if that helps. I was like, okay, but here's the thing. So I said this. My situation is not changing. Like, I am going to be a stay-at-home mom, and like, I still have these kids. So what do I do? Like, if you defer me next year when they reach out again, I'm just gonna say the same thing. And I said, I've already like gotten deferred and my situation hasn't changed. And so there it is. She was like, oh, well, you can only be deferred one time. And she like looked closer at my thing and said, I see you've already been deferred twice. Well, you're only supposed to be deferred one time. So yeah, you're gonna have to get the judge to excuse you at this point. And I was like, and I said, okay, well, you know, I don't have anyone to watch my kids. And she was like, yeah, so the judge is gonna have to excuse you. So I said, okay, thank you so much. So this was happening this week on Wednesday. I had to move some things around because I was supposed to bring breakfast to my Bible study on Wednesday. I had signed up to make breakfast, and I was like, okay. So I reached out and was like, can somebody trade breakfast days with me? Because like, and this is the crazy thing, literally the week before at Bible study, this is just, it's karma to me, because this girl was talking about how she had been called for jury duty and she had to get a sitter or something for her kid. And here I was like, oh, I just called them and told them that I was the primary caregiver and they deferred me, and that was it. And like, so she had shared like, oh, well, I had to do childcare and da 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 da. And I was like, yeah, I just called. So here I am, like, I'm like, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that. All I did was call. Okay. Literally, like a few days later, I got the summons in the mail, and then had to post on there and say, can somebody cover my breakfast? And they were all just like, you've got to be kidding me. You got jury duty right after we were talking about this. And like, you had shared that you had been deferred. Like, it was just so crazy. And I was like, yep. And so somebody traded with me. And I was like, well, shoot, like, I'm going to miss Bible study. I have to go to this thing. And you know what? My husband said, well, I guess I need to take off. And I said, oh, no, 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 no. You are not taking off. I'm taking these children. And he was like, are you serious? And I was like, yes, I'm serious, because I want them to know, like, this is my life. I'm like, I know that they give you a little bit of money for being on a jury, but like, it's not enough to cover childcare. And honestly, being on a jury sounds kind of interesting to me. Like, if I could get childcare, I think I would be happy to do it. But they don't pay you enough to cover childcare, okay? And my husband's not gonna take off work for this. So I'm like, I wish I could, honestly, because it would be interesting to me to be on a jury, but I know they're not gonna pay me enough to find childcare. So I get everybody ready, and we have to leave early. I had to be like in the courtroom at 8:30, so I was like, okay, it's like 20 minutes away. Gotta like get everybody loaded in the stroller, make sure we can like have time to get through security and like all this stuff. So I leave early to like make sure that we're gonna have ample time. So the parking lot, I'm in the overflow parking lot. It's already so crowded. I'm like, okay, here we go. Freak show. Like, everybody's getting out of their cars, and I'm like popping the trunk, opening the 2 side doors of the minivan, getting everybody out. And everyone is looking at me like, okay, like, what's happening here? Like, okay. People are stopping me. Are they twins? Are they twins? I'm like, yep. We have to go through a special area of security. People are holding doors open for me. I've got the double stroller, my 3-year-old holding my hand. Walk up in there. They're like, okay, ma'am, this way, like, come over this way. They have to wand me instead of letting me walk through the metal detector because I've got this huge stroller. And everybody's oohing and awing over the twins, wow. And I'm running a circus freak show. That's what's happening. So you've got all these adults. Everybody's annoyed to be on jury duty, okay? And here I am with my 3 kids, and my 3-year-old is being so good and sweet and just like, he's listening, and he's like, he calls the elevator an alligator, and he's like, do we get to go up the alligator? And I was like, yes, we do. And it's just so cute, and he's being so sweet. And so we get on the alligator with all these people, and they're all looking at the twins, and we're crowded in with this double stroller, and everybody's looking at the twins, and the twins are looking up, and they just start crying. Like, they're like, oh no, like they're stuck in this tiny space with all these people staring at them, and so they just start crying. And I'm just like, it's just one of those moments where I'm like, somehow we're gonna get through this, and it's gonna be funny. Like, it's funny that we're doing this. And so when I get off the elevator, there's like the first courtroom, and so a lot of people are waiting outside of this first courtroom, and they're all looking at me. Well, that's not my courtroom. My courtroom is far down the hallway. So they're asking like, which one's this? And they said, it's all the way down there on the right. And so I'm like, okay, come on, buddy. Like, we're down there. And so all these people are looking at us. And this one woman goes, I bet she gets off. And so we're just kind of like laughing. And I get to the door, and the sweet old man is handing out the forms you need, and I like hand him my form. And he doesn't even balk at the kids. He's just like, yep, okay, here we go. And so I look in the courtroom, and it's completely packed. You know, here I was thinking I'd be able to like slide in the back. No, it's completely packed. So like people are having to go up through those little double doors, swinging double doors, and go sit where the jury actually sits, you know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, that's where we're going. So we walk up the aisle. Everybody's looking at us like, whoa, okay, this is happening. And I walk through the little double doors, and the security guard, I'm starting to go over there where the jury is with my huge stroller and my 3-year-old. And he's like, ma'am, you can sit there at this huge table that the lawyers sit at. Okay. So I'm like, okay, thank you. So I sit down at this huge table, roll the stroller up close to me, get my 3-year-old in the attorney's seat beside me. And I'm like, okay, here we go. The twins start crying. They're like, what's happening? They start crying. I get out veggie straws. You're not supposed to bring food in there, but I figured they would let me since I'm dealing with this. So I got the veggie straws out, handed the snack packs to the babies. I'm talking to my son. I'm like, okay, here we are. This is so cool. Look how cool this is. Immediately, this woman comes out of the store. It's not the judge. I don't know who she was. But she comes out of the store and just walks straight towards me. It was almost like somebody had called her to be like, hey, this is who's coming to your courtroom. I mean, she didn't even she just walked out of the door and came over to me. She hadn't been in there. She didn't see us walk in. And she walks over and she said, hey, are you a stay-at-home mom? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, yeah, you can go. And I was like, oh, are you sure? And she was like, yeah, don't worry about it. What's your name? And I told her my name. And she was like, yeah, you're good, you can go. So I had been sitting in that seat less than 30 seconds when they were like, yeah, we took one look at you and you can go. And so I gathered everybody, turned the stroller around. Sweet people were hopping up to open up those little double doors for me. I'm like, thank you. And there's just like a chuckle through the courtroom because I literally had just wheeled my whole circus party in there, and now I'm wheeling them right back out. And everybody's just kind of like, yes, she gets to go. And I walked back out of there. And in the hallway, those same ladies who had been like, I bet she gets off, I just looked over at them and I was like, yeah, they took one look at me and told me I could leave. And they were just like, bless your heart. Like, I know it takes so much to get out the door. I'm like, you had to come do this. But I felt really happy because I hope I'm off their list now. Like, I was like, well, I handed them my form. I showed up. I didn't get a deferment. So surely that means I'm hopefully off the list for a little while. Anyway, it was hilarious. And I'm glad I did it because it's like a funny memory. And I'm glad that hopefully I got off the list instead of like getting deferred for another year and then having to deal with this again. But I'm like, I want to be like, I tried to tell you guys, I tried to tell you that you don't want me here. But overall, everybody was really good. Like, the kids were pretty good considering, and we did not have to be there very long. So that's my jury duty story. That happened yesterday. Anyway, I like took a little selfie of all of us outside the courthouse. Like, here we go, going to serve on the jury. Oh man, you can't make this up. It's just a funny life. Okay, I need to do something with my hair, but I don't know what I'm gonna do because it's just a mess. Okay, so Trader Joe's haul coming soon. New Patreon level opening today. I'm excited about it because it's gonna be an exclusive video each week. So I'm gonna put a short little video on there today, and then next week I'll do like my normal video because obviously right now I don't have anybody on there. So I'm gonna set that up today. Welcome, welcome, welcome you. And I'm also gonna have it on the membership tiers as well on YouTube. So the links to both of those are in the description box. Trader Joe's haul is coming. Lots of exciting things. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Go to Trader Joe's if you can, and I will see you soon.